What if the ultimate financial force in our world wasn't a government, a powerful central bank, or even a mega billionaire, but artificial intelligence? Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a scenario that feels straight out of a futuristic cinematic documentary, but it's rapidly becoming our reality. We already know AI can crunch unbelievable amounts of financial data, spot hidden patterns, and execute stock trades at speeds humans literally can't comprehend. But what if we push that even further? What if AI was actually the thing determining where all the money flows?
I want you to imagine a future where AI isn't just some helpful tool humming away in the background of the economy. Picture it actively managing global investments, deciding which startups get financing, and orchestrating massive, complex supply chains across multiple continents. If we reach that point, AI becomes the foundational system controlling the absolute lifeblood of global trade. So the big question we're exploring today is this: could AI eventually control the global economy? And if it did, are we looking at the most perfectly efficient financial system humanity has ever built, or are we looking at something far, far more unpredictable?
Let's start with Section 1. AI enters the financial world. Right now, our global financial system pumps out an ocean of data every single second. Stock prices fluctuate, currencies shift, companies drop earnings reports, and consumers make millions of transactions. Now, a human analyst is brilliant, but they can only read so many financial statements or track so many market movements before they just get exhausted. An AI system, though, it doesn't need coffee. It can examine patterns across thousands of companies and millions of data points continuously, 24/7, reacting instantaneously to shifting conditions.
But here's the truly wild part, and a crucial point to remember. Control doesn't actually require ownership. Think of it like an air traffic controller. They don't own the airplanes, right? But they completely dictate how the sky operates. It's the exact same concept here. AI doesn't need to own the capital to influence the global economy. It just needs the power to direct where that capital moves. By influencing the decisions of where money goes, AI quietly steps into a position of incredible, unseen power.
Moving right along to Section 2, expanding automated control.
Let's up the stakes. Imagine handing an AI system a cool $1 billion to invest. It doesn't sleep, it doesn't panic during a market dip, and it doesn't let emotions get in the way. It just endlessly evaluates global risks, tracks obscure economic indicators, and instantly adapts its strategy without any human input whatsoever. Now multiply that tension. Imagine thousands of massive financial institutions doing this exact same thing all at once. Millions of AI systems analyzing and reacting to markets simultaneously. The sheer velocity of the financial world would become absolutely staggering.
And this creates a massive cascading domino effect when AI starts managing not just numbers on a screen, but physical businesses. Say, Step 1, an AI predicts a looming material shortage based on global data. Step 2, it automatically adjusts factory production. Step 3, it completely shifts global supply chains to compensate. And Step 4, entire transportation networks are instantly redirected. A single AI decision inside one major company can literally reshape global energy consumption and redirect physical resources around the world, all before a human executive has even arrived at the office.
Which brings us to Section 3, efficiency versus catastrophe.
Look, in the best-case scenario, this isn't some dystopian, ruthless takeover of the economy. It's actually the ultimate efficiency promise. An AI could predict a market shortage weeks before humans notice it. It could drastically reduce material waste, optimize global energy usage to fight climate change, instantly detect financial fraud, and completely automate tedious, repetitive work. It paints a really compelling picture of a streamlined, highly functional world where resources are allocated flawlessly.
But we have to look at the dark side of that speed. Think back to the 2010 flash crash, but scaled up to a terrifying degree. Imagine an AI discovers a highly successful trading strategy at 1 millisecond. By 5 milliseconds, thousands of other AI systems notice and copy it. At 10 milliseconds, massive amounts of capital flood the market based on that one move. At 15 milliseconds, those market conditions suddenly change, rendering the whole strategy obsolete. And by 20 milliseconds, because millions of systems are acting on the exact same flawed logic simultaneously, you trigger a catastrophic global flash crash, all in the blink of an eye.
I want to pause here for a second because this is absolutely vital to understand. The true danger here isn't necessarily that AI is some evil superintelligence. The problem is velocity. AI systems can misunderstand data or optimize for the wrong objective. And when you have too many automated systems making massive decisions too quickly, interacting with each other with zero human speed bumps, things can spiral out of control before we even realize what's happening.
Let's ground this back in reality with Section 4, the human impact.
Handing over critical societal tasks to machines brings some pretty severe trade-offs for everyday people. Take business loans. If a human bank manager rejects your application, it's transparent. You can ask why and challenge it. If an AI rejects it instantly, the process is completely opaque, driven by rigid mathematical rules that might carry hidden historical biases. Then there's employment, where AI threatens to automate both physical labor and intellectual roles. And what about central banks? Humans balance politics, empathy, and social values. An AI central bank would just run pure, cold mathematical simulations. Sure, it improves baseline efficiency, but potentially at the cost of real human communities.
And while overall productivity across all these sectors is going to absolutely skyrocket, it forces us to confront a massive societal division. Will the immense new wealth generated by this AI economy be concentrated among a tiny, ultra-powerful elite of tech companies and investors, or will it actually be distributed broadly, raising the living standards for billions of people globally? The technology just creates the potential. It's our human institutions that will ultimately decide who gets to reap the rewards.
And that brings us to maybe the deepest issue of all. Who actually controls the AI that controls these economic decisions? AI doesn't just spontaneously exist. Someone builds the massive data centers, programs the objectives, and controls the information flow. Imagine if a small handful of big tech companies held the keys to this entire financial AI infrastructure. Or imagine if powerful governments controlled it instead. Whoever holds the keys to this technology essentially holds the keys to the entire world's economy.
Let's look at the logical extreme in Section 5, the ultimate AI economy.
Picture a future where the economy morphs into a giant, silent, machine-to-machine network. A company tells its AI to cut costs by 5%. That AI instantly reaches out and negotiates with a supplier's AI. They agree on a new price automatically, trigger an instant autonomous payment, adjust the global inventory, and spin up new production lines. All of this happens entirely in the background. Billions of dollars reallocated, supply chain shifted, zero human intervention. It is a level of efficiency that's almost hard to wrap your head around, but it also sounds incredibly difficult for us to govern.
Now, realistically, we're probably looking at a partnership. AI may never completely run the show totally unsupervised. The real future is human plus AI. Think of AI as the world's most powerful economic assistant, crunching millions of data points, predicting wildly complex scenarios, and handling all the rapid-fire, repetitive decisions. Meanwhile, humans are the ones setting the overarching goals, establishing the laws of the market, deciding what's ethically acceptable, and taking responsibility for the outcomes. The AI is the hyper-efficient engine, but humanity is still gripping the steering wheel.
But here is exactly why we have to stay vigilant. The insidious threat isn't some cinematic, sudden hostile takeover where machines wake up and demand control. It's way more subtle. The real risk is that we just voluntarily surrender our authority piece by piece. We'll hand over one decision, then another, simply because the AI is faster, cheaper, and undeniably more efficient. We risk giving it all away, one tiny optimization at a time, until we look around one day and realize the machines aren't just helping us run the economy, they're completely directing it.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final, haunting thought. Technically speaking, AI is on track to become deeply involved in every major economic process on Earth, from your local mortgage to global maritime shipping. But AI doesn't dictate its own role in our society. We are the ones who decide how much authority to give it. So, if these systems truly prove to be vastly superior at managing money and running the global economy, do we step back and let them take the wheel? Or must humans always keep the final say, even if it costs us that perfect efficiency? The entire future of our global economy really depends on how we choose to answer that question.